Hello everyone and welcome to another Star Wars figure review. Today we're going to take a look at something that is a little bit different once again. You may remember a good couple of months ago now, I believe, I gave you a look at a Tomy Japan 8-inch Boba Fett figure. Well, now I'm going to show you another one of those figures, only this time it's the Dark Lord of the Sith himself, Darth Vader. This is an absolutely phenomenal piece, and as I've said in past reviews, these items really do remind me of the figures that are used in the animation Robot Chicken. They're absolutely phenomenal pieces, and once again, for those of you that don't have room for or can't afford a 12-inch sideshow figure, these are fantastic substitutes. So there is Darth Vader. There are a few problems that I'm going to talk about with this guy, but none too, there's none too bad with the figure. We'll take a look at the packaging first. Once again, it is like the Boba Fett figure. It did come out in 2007, so you have the very generic sort of 30th anniversary look to the packaging. This packaging with the small logo down in the corner was used throughout various Star Wars products in 2007, such as sideshow figures, Kotobukai statues, Gentle Giant busts, and so on. As you'll see at the front, we have Tomy Direct, and then you'll see the name of the figure there, from the Real Action Doll Collection. Well, as we all know, they're not dolls, they're action figures. And this is, of course, once again, one of those die-cast figures with the metal skeleton body. On the side of the box, we have an image of Vader striking a pose, and that same image again on the back, as well as all the various components that make up this figure. So you'll see the cape, the bodysuit, I don't really know the name of it, the sort of underrobes, the jumpsuit, the helmet, chest armour, pelvis armour, the chest box, hands, all sorts of stuff in this figure. So there is the packaging for Darth, and unlike with the Boba Fett that I reviewed, I can actually give you a look at the instruction sheet so that you'll get an idea as to how to assemble this figure. So there you go, as you'll see, that is the metal body, die-cast body, and then you've got all the other parts there. Feel free to pause, but you've got all the other instructions there which show you how to assemble the figure. So I'll show you this, and then I don't have to go into too much detail about the actual assembly during the review. So there he is. Now on to the figure itself. I'll run through details first. I would run through articulation, but he just has so much of it that it's impossible to really go through it all. The helmet, first of all, is probably the only thing that really lets this figure down in some ways, because obviously, as you'll see, it's a little bit more triangular. It's not so much a dome shape as we'd expect. From the side it looks great, but from the front, it's just, there's something a little bit off about it. It's not a major problem, it still looks like Vader, but the top of the dome could have been a little bit better. The chest armour as well, rather than being a piece that slots over the head, it's actually just a piece that clips onto the front. So if you were to tip the figure forward, odds are that it would fall off because there's no back to support it, which is a little bit bad. Also, the chain that is supposed to go around the cape is actually connected to the chest armour, so when you attach the head, if the chain falls backwards or something, then it just disappears under the neck joint, and it doesn't really look too good. In terms of accessories, my god, has this figure got a lot of them. It does have a number of interchangeable and swap out hands, although most of them are just pretty generic open grasps and fists, so I decided to put the most interesting one in with this figure, which is obviously the finger point, and it's the "don't fail me again" sort of pose. The chest box is a very finely designed piece as well, and this actually connects to the figure via straps that go around the waist and over the shoulders, and then it connects at the back. And then you proceed to attach, as you'll see, the underrobes, which are made out of sort of vinyl material. And you've got the belt and the pelvis piece. As you'll see as well around the side, we have a lightsaber hilt which can be attached to the belt. And there is also included with the figure 2 lightsaber blades, so it allows you to really hold whichever lightsaber you want in his hands, and you can ignite them. One hilt has a clip which attaches to the belt, and then the other hilt, which you'll see in Vader's hand just here, does not have a clip. It's just for holding in his hand. I'll just straighten the blade out. There we go. And this figure just looks absolutely awesome with that. Just sort of the cape as well. There you go. Nicely designed lightsaber hilt. The only real problem that I have with that is the fact that if I just remove it, it is made out of a sort of very flimsy, rubbery plastic, so it bends like that, which is a bit weird. But as you'll see, there's some phenomenal detail on that. And the blade can be removed, so you can have Vader holding the lightsaber both lit and unlit. And basically the type of material or plastic that the blade is made out of is the same that you get with, like, I don't know, the Kotobukai statues and sideshow figures. And it slots into the hilt very nicely. So what else do we have with this figure? The jumpsuit as well. The overall body glove that Vader is wearing is made out of a sort of fake leather material, which I'm hoping you can pick up on camera there. Absolutely phenomenal piece of material. Really sets the figure off and just looks incredibly realistic. And as you'll see from the trousers as well, it's the same material, very finely stitched and has a great texture to it. You've also got the shin guards that slot over the legs, and of course the boots as well. And the cape, my god, the cape is massive. If I just remove the head and take the cape off and show you, you actually get sort of a full circle cape, which is huge. It's absolutely massive for a cape, but this is great because it's made out of a very light material, and once you drape this over the figure, it allows it to fall very fluently, and it looks incredibly realistic. So I'll just put that back on and show you once again. The chain has disappeared under Vader's neck, unfortunately, but you do get the idea. This guy just looks absolutely great alongside the 8-inch Boba Fett that I reviewed for you previously. You can really do the sort of no disintegrations scene from Empire Strikes Back with these two guys. They're pretty difficult to track down now, I'd say. They're not the easiest of collectibles to find. But as with Boba Fett, I managed to find this one on eBay from a Hong Kong seller who was selling this for just £40 with free shipping, which was fantastic. As I said, they are a lot smaller than sideshow figures, but they're equally, if not more, detailed. Because of the size, they're really, really superb figures, and I heartily recommend them because they're just fantastic. Like with me, I've got absolutely no chance of finding a sideshow 1/6 scale Darth Vader, at least not for a cheap price. So having this guy in my collection is a perfect substitute, and I'm perfectly happy with it. It's fantastic, really great figure. They do tend to fall over quite a bit because obviously the plastic feet are only on ball joints, and the entire body is metal. And then once you've factored in all the different outfit parts, this guy weighs a ton, so it does tend to fall over quite a lot. So I might have to look into purchasing some sort of 8-inch stands or something just to support these in my shelves. But they are fantastic figures, and I'm sure you'll see from the detail, absolutely superb all around. Unfortunately, the helmet is not removable. It's just one piece on a ball joint, but the helmet is nicely detailed, and you've got sort of the silver bolts around the neck brace. Don't know how well you can see that. But the helmet is a very nice piece, as you'll see. Although it does, as I said, look a little bit off from the front, but it's nothing to complain about too much. It's still a great looking piece. And a fine collectible. Really do love this guy. So I would highly recommend these if you can find them. Before I finish up the review, I will tell you that everywhere this figure can be articulated, he is. The knees, the elbows and the neck, the torso and all that kind of stuff, they're all double jointed, so you can get him in some really lifelike poses, and overall he just looks fantastic. Absolutely brilliant figure, one that I couldn't recommend enough if I tried, and I would heartily recommend picking up one of these figures. And just as a little bit of a bonus for the end of this review, we'll play out the scene, shall we? No disintegrations. As you wish. It was a bit of a bad impression, but you get the idea. These two really do go hand in hand together, and they just look great. Fantastic set of figures. So that is the Boba Fett, obviously, that I reviewed a while back, and there is the Dark Lord of the Sith, Darth Vader, a man after my own heart. So there we go. I hope you've enjoyed this review on the Tomy Japan 8-inch die-cast Boba Fett figure from the Real Action die-cast range. It would have been really cool if Tomy had released maybe a Luke Skywalker or a few Stormtroopers in this line. You could have displayed some absolutely fantastic scenes with these figures, but the two that were released are fantastic, and I'd highly recommend picking them up if you can. So there we go. I want to thank you all for watching this review. I'll be back with some more stuff soon. I've got plenty of Clone Wars reviews and vintage figure reviews to do for you, so stay tuned for all that, plus much more. And as always, until next time, keep collecting, and may the Force be with you.